Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Carl D'Souza. Welcome to my YouTube channel. What's up guys? So today we're going to take a look at how to use Microsoft Forms Pro. So Forms Pro is an enterprise solution from Microsoft for creating forms and creating surveys. So if you want feedback from your customers, this is a really good application that will give you a framework to create those surveys and then send them to your customers, and then they will fill in those surveys and submit them, and you'll be able to get some nice analytics on those and have that integrate with Dynamics 365 and the Common Data Service. So let's take a look in this video at how to use Forms Pro, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these surveys that we've created and actually embed that in a Canvas app that we will also create, so that users of the survey will be able to actually access it from their phones, and then they can fill it in that way, which makes it really convenient. So in order to use Forms Pro, go to the website formspro.microsoft.com, and then in the top right click sign in. And a couple of things to note here. So the environment in the top right, this is your Common Data Service environment, so you'll want to make sure that you select the right environment here. And then the other thing to note is if you click on your user in the top right, you'll see here that there is this option, switch to forms. So if I were to click on this, this is going to actually take us to Microsoft Forms. So you can see here this is Forms and not Forms Pro, and you can actually tell that from the top left where it actually says Forms. So let's switch back over to Forms Pro. And the two products have slightly different features that we'll go into in another video, but for now this video is all about Forms Pro, which is the enterprise solution. So the first thing we'll do is we'll create a new survey. So the way to do this is to click on New Pro Survey here. And what we're presented with is the name of the survey, the title. So we can give it anything we want here. So let's just say that I was creating a survey to get feedback from the users off my website, carldesouza.com. So the title of this website might be Carl D'Souza Forms Pro Survey, let's call it. carldesouza.com Forms Pro Survey. And you can enter a description there if you need to as well. So now that that's done, you can actually start creating questions for this survey. And this is really easy in Forms Pro. So all you need to do is click Add New, and you're presented with a list of options for the question. So you can provide a user with a choice question, a text question, ratings, date, and then if you click down, you get some other options as well. So very easy. Let's just go through and create some questions. If I created a choice question, for example. So this tells us this is a type of question where the user, the person who's filling in the survey, is given an option of a set of options to answer their question. So a question might be, do you like using carldesouza.com? And you'll see as I've typed that in, we actually get some suggested options as well. So it's already expecting that the answer to this might be a yes or a no or a maybe. And I could click Add All to just add all of those options in. In my case, I want to do a yes and a no, so I'll click yes and no. And you can see here that the options have automatically been added to my question. So that's really cool. Down at the bottom here, we can see that there's several other options that we can do. We could make this a required field. There are different ways we could make this a drop-down list, shuffle the options. Multiple answers means that the user can select actually multiple of these answers here, so it changes into this multiple selectable type field. We don't want that for our one, but there's a few capabilities here that's pretty nice. So let's go and add another question. We'll click Add New, and let's say we want to add a rating this time. So we'll click on Rating, and this provides a user with the ability to rate something. So we could say, how do you rate carldesouza.com as a website. And what's cool now is it's defaulting to stars, and we have different levels here. We can change the number here of the levels, and we can also change the symbol from a star to a number. So let's say we wanted to provide the user with a range from 1 to 10 that they can select. So in that case, we would select number, and we would change the levels here to 10. And then what that gives us now is the user the ability to select 1 to 10. And we may want to write something in here, for example, like 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. Just to kind of give the user a little clue, right? So that's cool. We already have a couple of questions. Let's go ahead and add some more questions really quickly. So let's click add. We'll add a date field in here as well. Let's say, when did you start using the website, right? And then the answer will be in a date format. Let's add another thing here. We will add one of these. These are really cool. You can provide options for the users and then add statements as well. So I'm just going to put the question as, please answer the following, and then we can add some statements in here. But first, actually, let me just put some options in. I'm going to go with very unlikely, and then option 2 will be unlikely, and option 3 will be neutral. Option 4 will be likely, and then option 5 will make very likely. So you can see here that we've set up the answers for the user to select. Now the questions we can put here, I'm going to say, for example, Carl works very hard on his website. And so now in asking this question, the user has the ability to select one of these here. And let's ask another question. Carl needs to take more time off, right? So as I fill out these statements, the user will be guided to provide the same range of answers. So that's a pretty nice one. So you can see as I fill this out, this survey has now been saved. So we have a saved survey, we're ready to use it. Let's take a look at sharing this really quickly so we can take a look at what the survey looks like. So there's many ways to share this survey to get it to the users so they can fill it in. If I wanted to do something really simple here, I could click send, and this does give me a list of all these different options of how to send the survey. I'm just going to go with the simplest one here, which is a link. So if I click on the link, then you can see here it gives me this URL that I can then paste into a browser. So let's go through and enter in one of these surveys really quickly. So first question, do you like using carldesouza.com? I'm going to say yes. And then how do you rate carldesouza.com as a website? 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Let's give that a 10. When did you start using carldesouza.com? So this is a date. So if I click on it, I'll get a little date dialog popping up. And then I can select a date from here. Please answer the following. And we have the questions here, or the statements. Carl works very hard on his website. That's quite likely. I'm going to click very likely. And then Carl needs to take more time off. And I am going to say very likely. Other people may choose a different answer for that one. So I'm going to hit submit. And we get our thank you page. And then if I go back to Forms Pro and click the back button here, and if I click on responses, we'll see that I have a response here. And I can click on this response, and we can see the response down here, which I can click on to get more details on. So there it is. We have a survey that we created, and it's now ready to use, and we've already used it. But what if we want to embed this in a Canvas app? So let's take a look at that. Click to create a new Canvas app from blank. So we'll give this app a name, and I'm just going to call this Forms Pro Survey, and we can choose the format between tablet and phone. I'm just going to go with phone. Let's click create, and we're presented with the designer interface. Let's go and insert. Click on insert, and then click on input. And then if you scroll down, you'll see here Forms Pro Survey, and note that this is in preview. So let's click on this. And now, if you go on the right here under Properties, Survey Selector. So we have this set to No Data at the moment. Click on No Data, and now we can select the survey. So if you click on this list, you'll actually get a list of the surveys in your environment, and we can see here that the carldesouza.com Forms Pro Survey has been defaulted here. Now let's expand our control a little bit so the user has the ability to see this survey on the screen a little easier. And that's it from this side. If we want to test this out, we can go and click the play button in the top right. And there's our survey.
So that's it, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and of course check out my blog at carldesouza.com.